Grief, it's a journey. It's not a destination. It changes us, it challenges us, and sometimes it even breaks us. But through conversation, community, and understanding, we find the strength to heal. This is Unwrapping the Gift of Grief, the space where we can listen, heal, and grow while learning to navigate life after loss. Let's begin to unwrap.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Unwrapping the Gift of Grief. We're back. I know it's been a long time, but yes, we're back. Jason and I are back tonight. Jay, how do you feel?
Yay. I'm doing great. How are you? Good to see you again.
All is well. All is well. It's so good to be back, and it's good to be back here with you. And I told Jason I wanted to do something tonight because it's been so long. I just wanted to come on and kind of have an unscripted, real life conversation about where we are in life right now. And so I'm just really going to call tonight's episode Grief Unscripted, the check-in. What y'all think about that? If some of you all are on, can you share the video? Tag your friends in the video, those your people that you think need this and you think it would be a blessing to. So kind of just share this post. Before we go any further, Jay, can you open us up in prayer?
I can. God, we thank you so much for your love, your grace, your mercy. We thank you, God, for opportunities to be able to sow into others with our words, that you use us as a vessel to help those that are dealing with grief and even on other topics, God. We pray, God, that you allow our mouths to be the ones you use to speak for you today. This is our prayer in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Again, y'all, like I just said, tonight is just me and Jason. No notes, no filters, just two people talking about real life and where it has taken us in these last couple of months. And not only that, how grief continues to show up, even when we think we've already dealt with some things. It just continues to just tap us on our shoulder. So yeah, we're talking about life, losses, the different changes, finances, emotions, all the highs, all the lows. For me, I call this Whoa October, right? Because October has me all over the place. This is my month of highs, lows, just everything. Heartbreak, celebration. Just whoa October. Jason, what about you?
Yeah, this I guess this entire season for me is based on several different things, I guess. Medical stuff. I know that you probably noticed that I've done a lot of film stuff, but there were some
Yeah.
missteps in things that I had recently. I had a program that I really wanted to work on and had to accept some things. So yeah, it's just been one of those things. I thank God that He I guess I deal with things a lot differently than most people. But uh, I'll say this. This is probably for all the single people.
Hmm.
At nighttime thing, when them lights goes off,
Hmm.
your mind get to wondering and thinking, and it start racing and start seeing and asking what if or I could have done or why didn't this happen. So it's that nighttime thing is something serious.
It's interesting that you say that, Jay. Because I think when we get closer to the colder season, this is the season that we yearn for companionship, right?
Hmm.
So I do have that need of wanting companionship, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't want a relationship. I just want
I'm
I want a person. I want that person that I can spend some time with. We converse, we eat, we laugh, we maybe cuddle, watch a little TV. And guess what? You got to go to hell home.
You gotta go home. Gotta go home.
I, I don't
Gotta
want the
go home.
responsibility of a relationship because I'm looking at relationships now. Relationships bring grief because everyone is not honest and people are looking for what they can get instead of what they can give.
Hmm.
And I'm over
I
that.
For me, I don't know how this car drove this down this line, but let's go ahead and go down this road. For me, it's when it comes to relationship, and I'm very much the same. I want somebody there, but I'm not looking for a relationship. Mine is because, and I think this is a grief type thing in a sense. I don't want to lose a friend again.
Mm,
I just don't want. I don't have the time to, because was into dating and all of this other stuff, it was um I thought it was my friend, my forever friend, and then life happens and you find out that that's not your friend, or that's the other side come out.
hmm
So I'm terrified of relationships.
I think I am too at this stage of my life, right? Because I am a relationship person. I do want to be in a monogamous relationship. But I realized after my last relationship, I just don't have the bandwidth to really, I just don't. I don't have the
Right. That
bandwidth to be with another person and give them my 100% right now, right? Because at the end of the day, I'm not 100%.
Gotcha.
And I just feel
Gotcha.
like, back to what I said before, people are not really genuine and honest in these days.
I
And
completely agree.
and also, I'm gonna say this, and I know a lot of women are gonna be mad. Women are making it hard for women to be in a monogamous relationship with one man because they make it easy for men to do what they want to do
Right. And I
without any
understand,
accountability.
I've heard people say, women say, "Uh-oh, I think I lost you." Um, I've heard people say, "Well, you got to blame the man. You got to blame because he should know better." I'm 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 on the mindset of, when it comes to relationship, both parties should be responsible.
Absolutely.
It's not a man thing, female thing. Both parties should be responsible. So that's where I am with that.
But I'm gonna counter this, right? If, just say for instance, hypothetically speaking, me and you in a relationship,
Hmm.
and some woman has eyes for you, but she know you in a relationship, and you get a
Hmm.
little tempted to go on over there, right? It's
So
because that woman did not respect that other woman, and you also didn't respect me as well. But because that lady made it so easy for you to tiptoe on over there, that's why we have a lot of
I
issues right now.
I concur with that, because especially in the world that we were in the religious world and the church world, and you have these married pastors.
Don't do
My
that.
question um, well, she knew he was married. Why did she approach him? She knew he was married. She knew he was married, and you
I
can't
don't
later
think they
on
care.
try to change it. But anywho,
Don't care. People don't care. I don't even know how we got here, but I'm glad we did
yes,
tiptoe on this. Because at the end of the day, right, we talk about grief and relationships, not having relationships. Sometimes we grieve that. We grieve that companionship. And grief does not stop at death. That's what I always try to explain to people on this show. It does not always stop at the loss of a loved one. It
right,
can show up. Your grief can show up when your life shifts, when your plans fall apart, when your dreams are just shattered. And also, grief can show up when your peace is tested. So,
yes,
comes in all forms, just not at the loss of a loved one. And it's in those in between moments where we're holding it, we're trying to hold it together for everyone else, that we see that we're quietly falling apart ourselves inside.
Right.
And that's when the
And
crash out comes, right?
when it comes to relationship, you really don't know that you're grieving until you find until you find another person that you get connected to, and then those feelings come back, and then you
Yes,
realize, wait, I'm still dealing with that hurt over there from the last relate.
absolutely.
So you push that person back. You almost
Absolutely.
sabotage a relationship, a possible relationship, because we really haven't dealt with the last relationship issues.
Absolutely.
Because I
Absolutely.
Lord knows I am that way. I get
And,
close to somebody and my nerves get bad. I got
you know,
relationship PTSD.
and so that's when we go to looking at, okay, things be going good, right, Jay? And then you be like, what cat finna come up out this bag?
Right.
You just waiting on the ball to drop, right?
Right.
Like, yeah,
Right.
I know. Looking at your side eye, yeah, I know something wrong with you.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, something do be wrong with them, okay?
Right.
You be like, yep, see, I know. I'm so glad I ain't dropping the draw.
I know it. I know it. I know it.
So yeah, life. Let's talk about life. Life right now. I know you said you've been going through some medical stuff. Let's talk about that because that's grief in itself as well.
Okay. Yeah. And the thing is, it's something that has my nerves bad, and it hasn't even uh, came to fruition. I'm dealing with some medical stuff because, and my thing is, I have too much going on to be
Mm-hmm.
laying up in anybody's hospital. I
Mm-hmm.
got all this stuff going on, so um, now I'm having to look and say, okay, I got to tell that person, I got to let that person know, I got to not be able to, I may possibly not be able to do these different stage plays and movies that I have lined up because of this medical stuff. And one thing about our health, if and I will say this to your audience, make sure you take care of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I might be I might be or should be yelling that to myself. But we have to learn how to take care of ourselves.
Absolutely.
Um, and not push things one especially black men. Let me talk to the black men. We have this habit of pushing things back. Oh, I'll take care of it. When it comes to our health, I'll take care of that later. I'll take care of that later. I'll take care of that later. I got this to do. I need to make sure that the bills are paid. I can't take a day off work. I can't do this. I can't do that until you find yourself in a hospital,
Mm-hmm.
which can lead to even more serious in the grief area, losing your family, losing your house, losing your cars, financial issues that happens because of bad health. There's so many
Yeah,
different things that can occur if we don't take care of ourselves the right way.
you're right.
And us black men are real bad at that.
You're right. And just hearing you talk, when you were just saying you were dealing with the medical issue and you just don't know, right? So we like to call that, and it's not we like to call it, but it's labeled as anticipatory grief, where you're anticipating something and you just don't know. Your nerves is all over the place. You can't think, you can't eat. So that is a form of grief that you're dealing with.
It really is. Even and I thought about this um maybe about a week ago now.
Mm-hmm.
I had to come to a realization that I actually um w- would not commit. I'm gonna tie both things, both the topics that we've been on,
Okay.
health and relationship. I stopped in the past, ended relationships because of my health issues. That I said I don't want that person to have to deal with all of this. Why would I want? Why would I get in a relationship and I got this problem going on and that problem going on? When you, in my mind, I'm saying that person should, if you're in a relationship, you're supposed to be just enjoying life together. I understand what the vows say, for better or for worse.
Mm-hmm.
But horror stories of the what good health, bad health. I've heard um, horror stories that guys, when they get sick and can't pay bills and their wife left them. That's crazy to me. And I don't want to have to put myself in a position, nor would I want to have to say, for instance, she stayed. But my mother-in-law, but not my mother-in-law, my stepmother was real kind to my dad. She was so kind to my dad until the day he died. But it took a toll on her.
Really?
It took a toll on taking care of my dad. My dad was real sick for years, and she had to deal with that for years. And I often said, I never want to put anybody through that.
Mm-hmm.
I've always said that. I never want to put anybody through that.
It's amazing that you're taking responsibility and accountability for that, right? Because most men, older men, right, they look for women to take care of them. They done play it around all their life. Now, when they get older and they come along with some health issues, they look for women. They decide they want to settle down. Oh, I'm going to get someone that's going to take care of me.
Right. I'm
so proud of
definitely
you.
not. Yeah, I'm not that. I've had conversations in the past that they would say, well, give me that option. Let me, instead of just moving out of the way, because I would stop a relate. Back in the day, I used to, well, not back in the day. As I gotten older, as I have gotten older,
Okay.
I've done that. I've moved back because I didn't want that pressure to be on there. But I like, and what did you call it?
Anticipatory grief.
Anticipatory grief. I like that.
You like that,
Let me
Jay?
write that down.
I'm a little smart now when it comes to this now. I'm a little smart.
How about that?
I'm supposed to be acting crazy now. So yes, anticipatory grief. It's the fear of a thing, the stress of a thing.
Yeah.
You're wondering, or you anticipating something is going to happen before it actually happens.
Mm-hmm. And honestly, you know what? I was as you bringing that up. A lot of times, grief. We will something bad happened in the past,
Mm-hmm.
and you've had to grieve through that, and then the the signs of that very thing pop back up,
Mm-hmm.
and it ushers us right back into grief.
Yes. Yes. Yes,
So yeah,
sir.
I get that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So yes, for me, uh life has been a little bit out of control lately. A lot of people don't know, but I did have a full abdominal hysterectomy in May where I had to take off work. I was off 3 months and some change, and it has really changed my life, right? It's affected me physically, mentally, and emotionally. I know people talks to me about it before. We got an echo. I don't know how, but okay. People talk to me about the emotional side of a hysterectomy, and the way they were talking to me about it, saying that I will feel like I was less of a woman. Well, that didn't happen because I don't feel like I'm less of a woman, but I am adjusting to this new version of me. I kind of tell people how after I had the hysterectomy, the next day it threw me directly into menopause.
Mm.
which was crazy, right? Because I had insomnia. I was up 21 hours a day, could
Wow.
not sleep. Tired, but I could not sleep. I had the most terrible night sweats. I was so restless. It was terrible, right? And the fact that I couldn't really do anything for myself, that brought me grief as well. I had my children here, and my children, I appreciate my children so much. They did everything for me. My son and my daughter, they made sure I ate, I showered, had clean clothes. They did what they were supposed to do. I guess they did what their mama raised them to do, which was be responsible adults. And when your parent is in need, kind of chip in to take care of your parent, right? So going through that, and I think my issue after surgery more so, it pushed me into depression because I was dealing with a financial issue. I went into surgery thinking that I had the insurance to cover me for my short-term disability. Well, they didn't cover me because they claimed it was a pre-existing condition. So now I have to figure out, how can I maintain my bills for the next few months without wiping my savings clean?
Hmm.
Do you know the stress of realizing that you're going to be down to $0 in your account when you're not used to that?
Right.
That was, oh my God, Jason, I think that's what kept me up though the most, because my mind wondered every day. Like, if I pay this, this is this much, and I got to do this for 3 consecutive months, I'm going to be broke. And then I kept fighting with them, trying to appeal the process. And every time, denial, 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 denial. And then I just told God one day, I said, God, I'm going to send this final appeal letter. And if they deny this letter, it is well. I'm just going to go back to work, and I'm going to start all over again, because it's not like I haven't been broke before. I've been
Right. Right.
broke. I've started over many of times.
Right.
But it's like, when you, how do they say it? 2 steps forward, 3
Right.
steps back. I
Right.
don't want to keep doing that. So that was the biggest part for me, going through that for the last, well, I just went back to work in August. So I went through that May, June, and July. I returned in August. But going through life, telling everybody, oh, I'm okay, I'm fine, I'm cool, I'm good, but knowing deep down inside, I'm crushed. I'm heartbroken. I don't
How
like to
did
be
you?
without.
How did you? How did you? Okay, I think you kind of said it already. I'll let you finish the story.
Go
My
ahead. Go
question
ahead.
is going to be, how did you overcome that stage? What what at what moment? I think you shared it already, but at what moment did you say, you know what, it's all is well? What thought process happened?
I had got closer to going back to work, and I knew if I can only get back to going to work, I will be okay. God, I have a job that you've given me that will provide every need for me.
Mhm.
I just have to get back there. And when I get back there, I can adjust some things. And it's going to take some time for me to get back in the
Right.
green or in the black, but I'm going to be okay. And also, you did not let me have this money sitting here in my savings and not touch
Right.
it, because I think I would have been spent that money on something. You did not allow me to have this money sitting here in my savings and not touch it, unless it was for such a time
Yeah.
as this.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, Jason, the exact amount of money that was in my account, I needed that exact amount of money to cover me for
Wow.
all 3 months. Actually,
Wow.
it covered me 3 months and a half.
Wow.
I needed that exact same amount. So nobody can't tell me that God does not look out for babies and food, because baby, I am a whole fool.
Especially when you want to spend some money.
Especially. Especially.
You
So
know, I
go ahead.
I thank God that he released me some years ago from financial uh, grief, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day, oh my God. When I say I used to stress over money and bills and how I'm gonna pay this and how I'm gonna do this and how I'm gonna do that. When I say I used to have the blues over that. And then one day God showed me, he said, when have I ever let you down?
Mm. Mm.
Name one time that it may not been when you wanted it to come, but something better came out. This make me think of
Absolutely.
something else that I recently am dealing with as well. When have I never, it may not been in your timing, but when have I not given you more? Not
Hmm.
what you asked for, but I've given you more than you've asked for every single time.
Hmm.
Every single time. So
Hmm.
yeah, I can understand that financial thing.
It kind of,
I think we lost our host. Well, I'll keep it going then. I'll keep it going. I personally was dealing with, she's coming back on now. There she go. She's back. Go ahead.
okay. So it kind of takes me back to Job, right? When
Mm-hmm.
Job had lost everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then he had the naysayers. Curse
Mm-hmm.
God and die, curse God and die. But then God turned around and blessed him, right?
Right.
That's how I feel sometimes. Like you lose everything to get back up.
You know, you reminded me something that my sister told me. One of my sisters told me. I was complaining to her about how could God let me down this way? How can
Hmm.
he let me lose all of this again?
Hmm.
And I'm preaching and doing what I thought was God is calling me to do and doing all this good stuff. And she stopped me mid sentence and said, Jason, did you realize that every time God took everything away from you, when he gave it back, it was more than what you had before?
Hmm.
So now when I lose stuff, when I miss out on, or that I'm thinking I'm missing out on things, I now say, oh God, you must getting ready to give me something better. Give me something more. But back in the day, ooh, hey, I used to throw a
Hmm.
hissy fit at God. I mean, almost to the floor, kicking and screaming at God. A whole temper tantrum.
Yeah. And it's crazy that you say that because I used to be that way too, right, Jay? But now I'm at the point in my life where I have this sticky note in my car. So every time I get in my car on my dashboard, it says, I'm grateful and I'm thankful. I get in there because, and I put this sticky note in my car because there was a time when I didn't have a car
Mm.
within the last 2 years. God, I'm thankful. God, I'm grateful because it could have went the
Ah,
other way.
it could have very
Sometimes,
easily went the other way.
exactly. Sometimes I come home, I say, God, I'm thankful. God, I'm grateful because it could have went the other way. I remember there was a time in what was that 2023 when I had $1.23 in my account and did not know
Mm.
where my rent was gonna come from.
Mm.
God, I'm thankful. I still can. I got a key to open up a door.
My God, my
I didn't
God.
have to figure it out. God, I'm thankful I still got my health and my strength. Yes, I got a
Hmm.
few achings in my bones, but God, I'm thankful because there's people out here that's worse off than me.
Yes, yes.
God, I'm thankful. I'm thinking about the world today, right? People come Saturday. don't know if they're going to get SNAP benefits or not.
Right.
God, I'm thankful because I can go on the refrigerator and open it up. And whatever I think I want, I can get
It's
it,
in there.
reach in there and grab. Or
Right.
whatever I think I want that I ain't got.
I can go get it.
Come on. God, I'm thankful. Because it could have
And
went another way.
it could have easily went another way.
Could have it. Let me tell you something. It could have been me so many
Mm,
times.
my God.
So many times it could have been me. So when people see me smiling when I should be depressed or I should be locked up in the crazy house, but God, I thank you. God, I thank you. Jason, you're gonna have to come on, take this cuss. Yeah.
Because
Jason, come on.
you about to go there.
Jason,
Look,
come on.
I had to get to a point. I was glad when I got to a point where I was right where you are. Every now and then, out of the blue, I say this. It just bubbles up in my spirit. It simply says, God, I thank you.
Mm.
It my mind, talking about grief and stuff that we've been through in life, my mind would sometimes wander back in the day when I was going through a certain things, or when I was going through this or going through that, and I take an image of where I am now. I just simply say, God, I thank you. I just simply say, God, I thank you, because like you said, it could have went a different way.
Could have went a different way.
There was time where um I can remember 2 times that I was so depressed that I had the gun in my lap. But now I can look at and say, God, I thank you. I have nothing. I've lost friends. I remember a few months ago, um, over the last year, I lost some friends that I thought was friends, and mentally I was broken. And then I had uh, all this good stuff that was coming up in my life, the movies, the directing, the all these other good stuff that was happening to me. And I came home one night, Crystal. I came home one night and I sat on my bed. No problem in the world.
Mm.
Bills paid, dreams coming true. And I sat on my bed. I remember this like it was yesterday, because I had to make phone calls. Sat on my bed and I said, but I don't have anybody to share it with. And to have all of this good stuff, and I was going home alone. And that in itself threw me in a deep depression.
Mm.
There are actors and comedians and such that y'all have noticed had commit suicide. That's exactly what they were dealing with. That's exactly what Robin Williams. Robin Williams didn't have a care in the world. Always making people laugh, always taking care of people, but ended up killing himself. The guy that had his own food show was doing great. I mean, traveling the world, trying all this food, this good food, and in a hotel room in one of his life, as he finished filming, he went to his room and killed himself.
Wow.
I was reading something earlier about grief, and this shocked me. Well, not shocked me. This was perfectly said. There is no stages of grief,
Hmm.
because everybody is different.
Everybody, it's your own unique journey.
It's your own unique journey. And it's about how you are dealing with what you are dealing with. And we can't, especially, let me talk to my church people for a minute. Stop telling them to pray about it. That's part of it. Yes. Yes. But a lot of times the church has gotten so bad m- at telling people to pray it's going to be all right, to pray it's going to be okay, to pray it's going to be okay, but it's never okay. Now what? What else is there? That's why it's important to know how the difference between your spiritual side and your emotional side,
Yeah.
your mental side.
Yes. Yes.
You should have, yes, you should have a pastor, but you should have a psychologist too.
Yes, you should. Yes, you
And
should.
us Black folks, we got to get away from this. It's bad to have a psychologist. I got both. I got a psychologist and a psychiatrist. I
Yeah.
need both.
You need that therapist in your life, right? Because that therapist helps you to navigate your grief. Now, if I'm sitting there with a spiritual leader who's never walked this road, I can't expect you to lead me anywhere you've never been. You can't give me no insight. Yeah, you can give it to me off of what you read, but it's
Right.
not personal, right? I want a
Right.
personal connection. Tell me how. Tell me why. Help me. How do I navigate this thing?
One of my my I call him close. I was his chaplain assistant when I was in the military. He's a
Mhm.
Catholic priest. He's a Catholic priest. Love him to life. But he couldn't teach me anything about me dealing with my marital relationship. My marital. There's no way. There's no way he could tell me anything. That I went through this one class where you had this thing that you would do, and if you were in an argument, you was supposed to grab the card off of the refrigerator and hold the card up to say, "I got the floor." I said, apparently you ain't never been married to no Black woman. I wish I would grab a card off the refrigerator, talk about some, I got the floor right now. That's going to go all the way to the left. That's going all the way to the left because he just didn't know. It's not, oh, yes, God, thank you. Here's the phrase. It's just not that simple.
Mm.
When you are dealing with grief, when you are dealing with grief, please, everybody that's trying to help your friend out, that's trying to help your family out, it is not that simple. Because you don't know the heaviness that they are dealing with
Yeah.
in that moment. You don't know the roller coaster that they're on. If you go to Six Flags, you're going to say, where's the roller coasters? Okay, you go to Six Flags, you're going to look at, they're going to say the roller coasters are over there. Now, you can't go to Disney World. You can't go to Disney World and say, where the roller coaster, expecting the same thing you saw at Six Flags.
Mm-hmm.
It's two
You're right.
totally different. When you're dealing with grief and when you're dealing with problems and when people are dealing with their issues of life, when life is lifing, it's not just that simple. Church, prayer is not just that simple.
Yes, it's not that simple when people are dealing with grief in real time. It's not.
In real time.
In real time. It's not. Because grief is not something that just happened. It's something that keeps on happening, right? Grief continues.
And the greater part of that is the grief could be on one subject, one issue that happened.
Mm-hmm.
But that one issue that happened would give you different vantage points of grief.
Yes.
1 minute you're looking at this issue that I dealt with, but you're looking at it from this vantage point.
Yep.
2 days, 3 days go by, you're good, and then that grief will hit you again, same situation, but you're looking at it from a different vantage point.
Yes.
So dealing with grief is not just that simple. You can't, it's not a 12-step program.
You're right.
And we have to learn as we deal with this grief, this stuff called grief, that we understand that it may never stop. It may get better. It may get better, And you may recognize, oh, I'm getting ready to feel myself getting ready to deal with this. I see myself, because you begin to feel the grief coming on.
Mm-hmm.
But it's learning how to say, okay, as an individual dealing with this, let me sit in it for a minute and
Yep.
let me deal with it. You can't hide from it. Let me tell you
No.
about grief. Let me tell you about grief. That bastard don't care nothing about nobody's feelings.
None.
It show up when it wants to and how it wants to.
I call
What it
it the
wants you,
uninvited guest.
yes. What it wants you to do is try to run from it. But just like a bully, sometimes you just have to stand up in that bully face and face him.
Yeah, absolutely.
When people that are dealing with grief, the only thing I would tell them is deal with it. Not like how I would deal with it. Deal with it how you now. Now
Find your path.
and then what you will learn is there are unhealthy ways of dealing with it and healthy ways
Yes.
of dealing with it.
Yes.
And that is where you have to find your counselors.
Yep. Yep.
That's where you have to find your counselors
Yep.
so that you can learn the difference between the healthy ways and the unhealthy ways of dealing with it.
And speaking of healthy and unhealthy, Jay, a lot of people think that they can party, sex, party, sex, smoke, vacation. They think
Hmm.
they can do all of that and their grief will go away. No, you're just smoldering your grief.
Yeah.
You're putting a blanket on it, right?
Yeah.
And the
And it become a
fire,
lump in the rug.
it, and then it's going to get to a point where you're going to trip over the lump in the rug and you're going to be face down on the floor because you have not dealt with that thing. You kept sweeping it out of the rug, sweeping it around. You have to deal with it head on. And I know people
That
are scared because when you healthily grieve, you find out who you are as a new person because you're no longer that person that you were before, right? And I think that's what people are scared of, unpacking who they were to become who they're meant to be after this transition.
you just said something real powerful. I don't know if you caught it. Grief will make you change.
It will make you change.
And you're no longer the same person anymore.
No, you're not.
You're no longer that same person. Grief will make you change, and you have to do what you just said, unpack that bag of who I used to be,
Who I used
and
to
now
be.
put in some new clothes in that suitcase.
Yes. Yes.
You I think a lot of times, I feel that a lot of times we hold on to grief longer than we should because
Hmm.
we still trying to be the same person
You're
we
trying
was
to,
before that happened. Before you lost that family member, before you lost that job, before you lost that relationship, and you're trying to figure out, you're trying to take this square peg and you're no longer a circle, but
yes.
you're still trying to change, push that in there, and it's not fitting. But you
Yes.
you keep saying, well, this is how because what we do, we go back into how acting the way we used to act
Hmm.
before that loss happened. That one
Yep.
thing about just using your medical thing with the hysterectomy, there was a part of you that was taken away from you physically.
Hmm.
So physically, you're no longer the same person. Physically, that's the
Absolutely.
same with a loss of a job, a loss of a family member, a loss of this relationship. Who you used to be was attached to those things.
Yep.
And now that that thing is not a part of you anymore, how do I handle me now?
You're right.
In I think this might be good in teaching. In grief, how to handle the new me.
Why was
How
that?
to
Why was
handle
that one of my questions that I was going to leave them with at the end of the show?
Yeah, that's the thing.
You right?
Because I'm not the same. I'm not the same. Let me tell you another issue that I was dealing with recently, very recently. I was approached to do my own TV show, talk
Okay.
show. Um, and the executive producer, she said, we could do the show for you, and you would be what we call a talent act. You would be paid as a talent. But she convinced me to do all the production, the executive producer stuff. Now I'm new
Okay.
to this. I don't know nothing about all this TV stuff, all this other stuff. So I had dove in. I started making decisions because of how fast she was pushing me to do certain
Mm.
things. And then one day I had a conversation with her about some deadlines, and I'm rushing myself. I want this TV show really bad, and it's still coming. But I had to literally say, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to bag off. And it came at a financial loss to me, a huge financial loss of my personal, because I had people sewing into me, and I put that money aside. I didn't even try. As a matter of fact, I still got some of the cash on my dresser at home because I didn't want to play with their money.
Mm.
I said I'll just use my money. And I had to, for about a week, I was kicking myself in the head. Jason, how can you let this, why did you do this? You knew you wasn't ready for this. And I'm giving myself the business. If
Mm-hmm.
anybody's gonna be your worst critic, it's gonna be yourself.
Yourself. Yes.
And so, but one thing that it teaches me when I make mistakes, um, or when I lose things, keeping it on grief, I often said, what did I learn? Because a lot of stuff that we go through, Crystal, is not really for us. It's to help somebody else that's coming up after you. And you
Mm-hmm.
said it earlier. I don't need nobody talking to me that ain't been through what I went through.
Mm-hmm.
You can't come to me. You can't come to me for counseling about no hysterectomy. The most I ever lost was my hair.
Mm.
So
You
you
are
can't.
that.
I know you. You can't talk to me. I can't talk to you about a hysterectomy and how you're gonna feel and what you're gonna go through and the path. And then watch this. You said it earlier. People that did go through it said that they was feeling like less of a woman, that they was feeling like this. But guess what? That wasn't your.
That's not my story. My story is I just want these thighs to stop growing. That's my story. And I just want to
Did you
stop
see?
eating. That's what I
Did you
want.
see that lady that said, she was on a podcast? She said, "I want the mind of Christ,
I saw it.
but I want the body of a whore."
No, I saw it. Let me tell you something. She can have 25 pounds off of each cheek if she want to. Because it's getting ridiculous. After this menopause weight is depressing. But
Oh boy.
I just get up and I just smile and I just jump up and down and put my clothes on. Be like, all right, it's winter. I'm gonna have to get my summer body ready this winter because I can't take this into next year.
You know what?
I just can't, Jason.
But yeah, it's for many of us, I don't think that we realize that we have grief.
So I was getting ready to say, sometimes I'll be thinking like, are we really just depressed and grieving and just calling it life? Are we
And
just
but
saying life is life but not really owning up to, I'm depressed, I'm grieving, I'm stressed out, I'm not okay.
Hmm. That's why I'm very, especially these young people. Um, they get this, well, life is life.
Yeah.
It worries me when I hear them say that, because I want to make sure that they are processing life.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have to process living. Part of living is losing. No
Mm.
ifs, ands, or buts about it. Part of living is losing. And sometimes you're gonna lose this, you're gonna lose, but you're gonna gain stuff too. If you don't, if we don't learn to 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 see what we also gain, if you lost a loved one, if you lost a loved one, we grieve that we lost that person,
Mm-hmm.
but not realizing that there were things that that person left with us that we've gained to live a better life. Sometimes we overlook the things that was gifted to us through
Mm-hmm.
them. The fact that God gave us, even in a love relationship, even in a love relationship, and you lose that relationship. My first wife, to this day, she's what I call a best friend.
Hmm.
We didn't make it, but I learned a lot by being with her. I learned a lot about myself. The jobs that I've had in the past that I've lost. Okay, I lost the job, but what did I get? What did I
What did
learn
he
about
do?
me? What enhanced me?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of time, grief can also um, be a space where you can say, okay, I lost that, but I gained something too.
Yes, absolutely. You know what, Jay? You just said something, and I want us to get to the point where we can stop leaving these relationships bitter, right?
Hmm.
Grasp the lesson. It did not work out. Every person that you meet in life is not your forever.
Forever.
What did I learn here? What time did we share? What was the experience like? Take that, pocket it, move on, heal, on to the next.
And I think that's a big clue to how to heal from grief. What did you learn
What you learn?
from that situation, from that person, from that encounter? What did you
Yes.
learn?
What did you learn? What is the takeaway?
What is the takeaway?
What is the takeaway? Right? And like you said, your first wife, y'all like really, really best friends. Like my daughter's father, my son's father. I tie their phones down.
Right.
I call them, they call me, we chit chat, we talk, we laugh, we hee hee. Nothing personal, right? Because our relationship was our relationship. Now we're
Right.
just friends. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong.
I
And
think
I'm
about
thankful for that.
I think about so when it comes to loss of a family member to death, I don't. The only person that I really, and I won't even say struggle with, when my grandfather passed.
Hmm.
When my grandfather passed, that hurt me deep. However, um, to this very day, I do things around the house and I do things for other people. And they actually, how do you know how to, even my brothers, my brother wanted some work done to his car one day. And then I was sharing with my brothers and sisters, yo, I changed my radiator and my thermostat out of my car the other day. And they looked at me like, how in the world you learned to change a whole radiator out your car? I said, granddaddy taught me that. There are a lot of things in life that what keeps me at peace with my even and I will every now and then I'll miss my granddad. I'll say I just want to hear his voice. But then when I'm doing stuff around the house or when I'm doing different things, I hear his voice talking to me. Okay, Jason, you need to do this now. You need to do this. That's me hearing. One year I cooked I think it was Thanksgiving dinner. I said, don't worry about it. I'll do dinner. I'll cook all the food. And my oldest brother was eating and he stopped. He said, Jason, this tastes just like grandmama's, whatever it was. I said, yeah, because when I was cooking, I was talking to grandmama.
Hmm.
I was okay, what do I need to do with this? How do I need to do this? How do I and I was taking the best of what made me better because of what they taught me, what I learned from them, what I got from
Mm-hmm.
them.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think one of the things that we need to learn how to do in dealing with grief is not just dealing with the loss of that person is out of our life, but what did I learn? What
What
did I
did I
learn?
learn? What did I learn? We're almost at our closing mark. I can't believe we almost been on here an hour.
I looked up and I was like, I thought we was at 30
Crazy.
minutes.
That's crazy. I just want to say, before I close us out, I'm gonna let Jason close us out as well. Um, we're carrying so much, y'all. Yet we're consistently showing up. We're still smiling, still giving, we're still trying. And that's why conversations like this one that Jason and I are having tonight, that's why they matter. Because grief, it does not always mean tears. Sometimes grief looks a little bit like exhaustion, detachment, or just being in survival mode. I know that all too well. I've been in survival mode pretty much my whole life. So therefore, I mean, I've been grieving for a long time. But there is hope in all of this, y'all. Grief, it evolves you. But all I'm asking for you is to just take the steps. Be open to healing. Be open to walking your own unique journey when it comes to grief. Jason, you got something you want to close with, and then I'm gonna come back and leave a few little things here.
Not much. Just this one point that's just tugging at my heart.
Okay.
I understand that when you're dealing with grief, that you're gonna every time you deal with it, a majority of the time you're gonna look at it from a different vantage point. Same situation, it's just from a different vantage point. Learn what you are seeing, embrace what you are seeing, because when you look at it from a certain vantage point, learn the lesson that you're getting from that vantage point. Get the evidence and the tools that you need to better yourself from that vantage point. So the next time when you come up, you're on the other side and you can say, oh, this side. There's a movie out called Vantage Point. If you ever get a chance to watch that movie called Vantage Point, it is a really, really good movie. And it's about the president had gotten shot at, or so they thought that the president was assassinated. But what the movie did was it kept playing that same situation, but it went to somebody else's vantage point.
Mm,
One minute it was from the media people. The next thing it was from Secret Service. The next time it was from a senator. The next time it was from somebody sitting in the audience. They're same situation. And it took all of those vantage points to find the recipe to healing. So accept the different vantage points and learn to move forward and allow it to help you to move forward.
wow. Thank you, Jay. Thank you. What a conversation tonight, y'all. What a conversation. And I really, really needed this conversation tonight. For me, I know I needed to slow down. I needed to sit in my truth. And I needed to remind myself, not you, myself, that grief isn't something that I move on from. Is grief is something that I move through, right?
Mhm.
So I take that along with me too. And this show tonight, Grief Unscripted, is not about us having it all together. It's about having the courage to show up. And even when we're running on empty, having the courage to say, this is where I am, and I am okay with that. And also realizing that it's okay to not be okay.
Mhm.
Tonight, I want to leave you with this reminder and this question. Jay had said it earlier today. And I think, Jay, what did you question? Did you say where am I at right now in grief? Was that your question?
Yeah.
Because I think mine is, where am I emotionally right now? Not, and remember, it's not where I wish I was. It's where I truly am right now. And I also want you to write down this other, I'm gonna give you maybe two more questions. What part of my grief or change have I been avoiding because it
Mm.
feels so heavy? What part of my grief or changes in my life have I been avoiding because it feels too heavy? And here's another one. What does starting over look like for me in this season of my life?
Mm.
What
Mm.
does starting over for me look like in this season of my life? As always,
Yeah.
if tonight's conversation has touched you and made you think, if it reminded you about anything that you're going through in your life right now, remember, you are not alone. Please share this episode with someone who needs it. We'll be back. I'm not sure if we're going to come back the top of November or towards the holiday of November, but we will be back and we will be talking about becoming more knowledgeable about grief. Remember, I'm still growing. I'm still healing as well, but I also want to hold your hand and walk you through this journey. So, as I always close my show with saying, if there was no grief, there'll be no love. If there was no love, there'll be no grief. Thank you for tuning in to Unwrapping the Gift of Grief. Also, I'm going to drop this grief share program in the bottom of this podcast. Grief share program is a 13-week guided program that helps you deal with grief and gives you coping tools. So the number is there. You can reach out to Grief Share. Also, if you know someone that is depressed, dealing with suicide, I have dropped the suicide hotline number in there as well. You can reach out. There is help, there is healing, there is hope. Thank you again for tuning in to Unwrapping the Gift of Grief. Have an amazing night. Thank you, Jason. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Have a good night.
Thank you for joining our conversation tonight and for diving deep into the journey with Crystal. Remember, healing, it is a journey, and you're not alone. So, if these talks resonate with you, share, subscribe, and connect on all platforms. Together, we can unwrap the gift of grief. Until next time, Crystal is here for you. Find this podcast on all streaming platforms. Don't forget, this podcast is brought to you by Countess D. Pearl LLC Productions.